Welcome to the Daily Fortune, where we talk about the latest topics about finance and investment. But before that, please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when we upload a new video. Now let's get started. In this video, we'll talk about the interview with Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and what they have shared about investing and what is diversification. Buffett said that there is no magic if you have decided to invest a lot of money in things that you feel strongly about. So here we'll talk about diversification. He said that it's a practice that makes little sense for someone who knows what they're doing, and that diversification is a protection against ignorance. To simply explain it, if you want to ensure that nothing negative occurs to you in relation to the market, you should own everything. That is a totally good technique for someone who does not believe they are capable of business analysis. He even said that it's definitely insane to hold 50 stocks, 40 stocks, or even 30 stocks if you know how to assess and value businesses. There are not that many great companies that a normal person can understand and have an excellent business. And it's conventional practice. And you know that if all you have to do is average, you'll keep your job. But for Buffett and Munger, it means you don't truly understand the company you own. On Buffett's personal portfolio, he owns one stock, but it's a business that he knows, and it makes him extremely comfortable. He said that it's nonsense to own 28 stocks to have proper diversification. In Berkshire, he could pick out 3 of their businesses and be very happy if they were the only businesses they owned. He has all his money in Berkshire now. He loved the fact that they can find more than that and that they can keep adding to it. 3 wonderful businesses are more than enough to do very well in this life. If we look at how fortunes were made in this country, they weren't made out of a single portfolio of 50 companies. They were made by someone who identified with a wonderful business. Buffett made Coca-Cola as an example. There aren't 50 Coca-Colas or 20. If there were, we could all go out and diversify like crazy among that group and obtain results comparable to having the truly fantastic one. But you won't find it. The truth is, we don't really need it. Buffett shared that if you have a truly good company, you're well protected against the vicissitudes of the economy over time, as well as competition, because what he's talking about is businesses that are resistant to effective competition. There's lesser risk in owning 3 easy-to-identify wonderful businesses than owning 50 well-known big businesses. Buffett said that it was the option he would choose if he were to bet his family's fortunes for the next 30 years on the income from a given group of businesses. He would rather choose 3 businesses they own, rather than own a diversified group of 50.
Charlie?
Yeah, what he's saying is that much of what is taught in modern corporate finance courses is twaddle.
Do you want to elaborate on that, Charlie?
You cannot believe this stuff. I mean, it's modern portfolio theory, and
It has no utility. But I mean, it will tell you how to do average. But I think anybody can figure out how to do average in 5th grade. I mean, it's just not that difficult. And it's elaborate, and there's lots of little Greek letters and all kinds of things to make you feel that you're in the big leagues. But there is no value added.
I have great difficulty with it because I am something of a student of dementia, and I have.
We hang around a lot together.
And I can ordinarily classify dementia, on some theory structure of models, but the modern portfolio theory, it involves a type of dementia I just can't even classify. Something very strange is going on.
If you find 3 wonderful businesses in your life, you'll get very rich. And if you understand them, bad things aren't going to happen to those 3. I mean, that's the characteristic of it.
By the way, maybe that's the reason there's so much dementia. If you believe what Warren said, you could teach the whole course in about a week.
Yeah, and the high priest wouldn't have any edge over the lay people, and that never sells well.
Right.
Buffett believes that Berkshire was in the strong probability category, not the cinch category. but I saw things in the junk minefield and the equity markets in 2002. You could have bought Capital Cities in early 1974 with Tom Murphy in charge. It was selling for a third or fourth of what the property was worth, and you had the best manager in the world running the place, so you had a fairly solid business even if the manager wasn't. If American students attend these elite businesses and law institutions, they will learn corporate finance and investment management in the manner in which they are already taught. They claim the main trick of investing is diversification. That's their motto. But the secret of investing is to find situations where it's safe and wise to non-diversify. Diversification is for the novice investor, not the professional.
Historically, every industry at all times is interested in downsizing or becoming more efficient. Now, if the industry is growing, you can achieve efficiency by doing more work or turning out more output with the same people. But if you go back 150 years and look at the percentage of people in farming, for example, farming has downsized from being a very appreciable percentage of the American workforce to a very small percentage, and essentially that's released people to do other things. So it's in the interests of society to get as much output in anything as it can per unit of labor input. It's very difficult on the individual involved, and it's no fun. I guess it's no fun being a horse when the tractor comes along, or a blacksmith, and when the car comes along. But so I don't quarrel with the activities. I quarrel sometimes with how it's done.
Buffett explained that there's nothing wrong with a know-nothing investor doing that. It's basically what they should do, but it's exactly what a good professional investor should avoid practicing. A know-nothing investor will do well as long as they are aware that they are a know-nothing investor and diversify their stock purchases both in terms of time and types of stock. That's insane even for someone who knows what they're doing. And if you put 20% into it, you'll find many opportunities. You wasted a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity by not investing a significant portion of your net worth in it. If your goal isn't to manage money in such a way that you receive a considerably better return than the rest of the world, you're not a professional investor. Then Buffett believes in extreme diversification. But if you're in the business of evaluating businesses and you decide to put in the effort, intensity, and time required to do the task, Buffett said that diversification is a terrible mistake at any level. And if you're serious about running a business, you shouldn't have more than 6 firms. If you can discover 6 fantastic firms, that's all the diversification you'll need to generate a lot of money. And for sure that investing in a 7th one, instead of putting more money into your first one, is a terrible mistake. Few people have become wealthy as a result of their 7th greatest idea, while many have been wealthy as a result of their best idea. That's a summary of Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger's interview. Thank you for watching. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something from today's video, and to get updated with the next videos, don't forget to hit the notification bell. See you next time.